Hello, ladies. Okay, I want us to talk about some key words here. We got grace, we got grief, we've got condemnation, we've got forgiveness. So let's put this all into play. Let's unpack this a little bit. Okay, so I've been talking a lot about let's have grace over ourselves. And, there's sometimes where we don't just have grace over ourselves. We just go all willy-nilly. And we just do whatever we want to do. Like, I deserve to eat this because the girl I work with is a jerk. Or I deserve to eat this because I did good all week long. Or, I'll ask myself for forgiveness instead of permission to eat something, and I'll go ahead and go crazy and eat an entire pizza. Even if it's gluten-free, I'll shove it in my mouth and just not think about it. Does it seem like I'm acting like that's a little too familiar to me? Yes, we do these things. We forgive ourselves very quickly for things that we should have a little bit of grievance over. And remember, when you're grieving over a sin, you're not shaming yourself. You're not condemning yourself because those things don't come from God. His word says so. See, Jesus bore all of the shame and all of the sin of all of the generations of all the nations on the cross. So shame is no longer yours. Condemnation is not yours. It was taken for you and from you. So let that go. However, if you're taking part in something, whatever it be, a drink, a drug, a relationship, a food that is not okay for you, and you know it's not okay for you, then you're living outside of God's will for your life. His will is never to contaminate you, to put toxins in you. So if God saw necessary to send his son to bear all of that stuff for you, he wouldn't have it on you or in you. So think of it that way. I was saying to another friend this morning in this way, that as you eat, as you prepare to eat, as you prepare to whatever it is you're going to drink, my Coke drinkers, that you'd go ahead and decide that set your heart on things above. And decide that I'm going to care for my body in such a way that it mirrors my view of the importance, the majesty of the kingdom of heaven. Now listen, some people could think you're over-spiritualizing, Rachel. Well, possibly. However, if you think of it this way, that when I allow myself to continue down a road, and have not just a treat, where I treat myself occasionally, but where I eat so lavishly, where I let myself do whatever I'm going to do for a long period of time or a continual thing, then what happens is what starts to happen in my body? Brain fog, fatigue, irritability, anxiety, depression. Then inflammation sets up in my joints. Then my workouts become impossible. Then my relationships in my home become agitated. Do you see where I'm going there? It could be over-spiritualized, but if you know that your nutrition is a key to living freely, breathing deeply, and it actually meaning something when you breathe, you can reset and your body's not all agitated. There is a difference in circumstantial anxiety and then imposed anxiety upon yourself. Anxiety that comes from stuff around us, we can't have a lot to do with that. That happens. But it's sort of like, I was thinking this the other day, texting and driving. You ever been there? You ever done it? I'm going to go ahead and throw myself under the bus. I've done it. And you realize how tense you are looking around, and actually how you're getting somewhere slower than if you would just put your stupid phone down. It's the same thing with food, y'all. We're like, okay, I'm gonna eat this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna sneak this little thing here, or do this little thing here. You're getting there slower, getting to your goal weight, or getting to a clear head, or getting to a less inflamed body more slowly. I'm just laying it out on the table here, y'all, not because I've made it to some point beyond everybody else, because I still struggle to this day with it, because I'm a human being. I forgive myself for being a human being. I don't forgive myself for being a stupid human being, though. And y'all know what I mean. ignorance and stupidity are two different things. Before, you didn't know. Now that you know, you see? So let's just be smart. Let's inform ourselves. Education is the beginning of empowerment in this way. Y'all, inform yourself. I'm consistently posting for you what foods include. And a lot of what I'm getting back is but I don't like that, but I don't want that. And y'all see how, like, I'm a little bit annoyed about it. You can continue to say that. Don't feel like you can't say you don't like something. And if you don't like it, don't eat it. But read about it before you make your final decision. Did you know that every 7 years, your taste buds reset? Also, did you know, in our ignorant America, where we shove our mouths full of enriched, stripped, packaged, sodium, sugar, infiltrated food, that we've actually trained our taste buds to believe they like something that they don't. We have trained our brain through our mouth. It is mind over matter, my friends. You need to get in and dig in and decide, this is good for me, and I'm going to give it a whirl for a little bit of time. If I need to put it in a shake and put extra pineapple to cover up the flavor of it, then that's what I'm going to do. But I'm going to do it because my body needs that help. For instance, beets. I know a lot of people are like, bleh, not doing beets. Well, okay, fine. Beets are not like pizza, but beets are beets. Beets are the kind of thing that comes in your body, and it not only helps flush out toxins from your body, it actually goes backwards and repairs damaged cells. So do you see that? Okay, for me, when I very first started losing weight, I looked like I was probably I looked like I was probably about 40 then. And right now, I'm almost 38 years old. I feel as though I'm about a good 28. I'm not lying. My body went backwards in time. Now, I got the wisdom of a 38 years old. Not that much, y'all. That's still young. But I'm telling you that you can go backwards, and your body can heal itself. And I'll tell you this, and I'm willing for y'all to shoot all the arrows at me you want. But you will not know until you try. Get off your victim podium. And we get that, y'all, and I get there often still. But you've got to get down off of, I can't do this because I can't, like, it's a genetics, this is just how my family is. Y'all, my family has struggled with, part of my family has struggled with heart illness and weight and sickness and unhealth, addiction, alcoholism. Oh, and on and on and on, the things that it has dealt with. But I'm going to tell you, when I got intentional, I became a person who was breaking a generational cycle. Now, that's a hard thing to do, because sometimes you have to pull yourself away from the bunch and do something different than everybody else. But I'm going to tell you something. God has not made you to be in this world to be comfortable. He has made you to run for Him. And think about Jesus. He died on the cross for people who would never accept Him. He went ahead though. So go ahead for your children, for the generations that come after you. Go ahead and make it a point to change your course. Last night I posted something about, or maybe it was this morning, change the entire course of your family or for your children one snack at a time. I'm not telling you to go in, all right, this is this and this is that. That's happening in your mind. But you can go gracefully to them and one snack at a time offer them the benefit of health, the freedom of health. Psalm 102:18. Let this be written for a future generation, that a people not yet created may praise the Lord. And of course, this is in relation to a man pouring out his heart, an afflicted man, and he laments before the Lord, saying, this is what this is, and this is where I've gone, this is where my body is, but I praise you, Lord, and I'll honor you, Lord. And he's taking the action of going before the Lord so that the generations to come can know the truth. You live this life, you run this race for the glory of the Lord and for the generations to come. You love your children, right? Love them enough to stop feeding them in a way that is killing them. And I don't want that to sound at all, because I struggle there. We struggle. We all as a nation, we struggle. But one snack at a time, one meal at a time, one graceful move at a time, we got this. We got this. We join together, and when we're going to get together as girls, we go ahead and collectively make a choice to eat well. And especially training our daughters especially. Because I'm going to tell you something, men are a valid part of the household. But so are you, woman. You set the mood. You set the attitude. You lead in a way that is distinctive for you. Yes, we are joint heirs in Christ, but we are separate in function. Our function is different, equally as important, but different. So as you lead your home, I challenge you to really dig in and know that you are worth it. And I started out this video with the intention: be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself. Be firm with yourself. I'm going to put a song that's very important for you to listen to. I know some of you are not as much musically interested as I am. I'm maybe a little bit obsessed. Fine, whatever. I'm comfortable with it. But this song is called Be Kind to Yourself. Be kind. Why? Because the God of all the universe took time to create you. He knew you before your mama did. He knew you. And he continued on, and he continues still to this day. The word says in multiple places where he remains. He remains, and I wish I could remember where I was. There it is right there. I was in 102 and 103, but I was talking about saying, in the beginning you laid the foundations of the earth, and the heavens are the works of your hands. They will perish, but you remain. They will all wear out like a garment, like clothing. You will change them, and they will be discarded. But you remain the same, and your years will never end. The children of your servants will live in your presence. Their descendants will be established before you. You have been called to care for those descendants. You have been called to do what the Lord will have you do in worship, in food and drink. Y'all, and this may seem like such a menial thing with all the things that surround us, but the Lord has called us to make a way. Make a way. And we need to do so with a clear mind, with self-discipline, using those fruits of the Spirit: joy, peace, kindness, patience. What am I missing? Self-control. Self-control. Biggest one there, I feel like. All right. God bless you. God bless you, my beautiful sisters. Dig in. Dig in, and he will.